you know, it doesn't matter the investment vehicle or the entrepreneurial vehicle. Is that you do it and you do it well, right? So um, you know, I I tell this to everybody that'll listen is that real estate is great for a lot of people, but it's not for everybody. Just like investing in the stock market or uh, you name it, starting buying small businesses. You're doing like the Cody Sanchez thing, where you're uh, doing pressure washing or I don't know, but so long as you're becoming an expert in that particular niche and you're working it, it's yeah, um, it doesn't matter the vehicle. Uh, it's that you do it well. So, what advice would you have for somebody that's getting started? Find that network like yours and start learning. Is it getting to know a particular market? Is it start recruiting or start shopping? Uh, all of the above.
Yeah, I think the key thing is you got to start. These entrepreneurial ideas are just that unless you take action. And I think this is what ultimately you're about and what inspires me about your story is if you're going to look for an excuse, you'll find one. And like you're the perfect example of taking action no matter what excuses your mind can come up with. And so with a lot of these people, it's just you got to start. And vending or not, like whatever that is, like you said earlier, when we come across something and you're like, wow, that's a great business idea. Well, there's a lot of great business ideas that don't reach that point where we actually see that product come to fruition or that business come to fruition. And so my big thing is you just got to start and don't get caught up in the results. And if you stay focused on the process, you're gonna succeed.
Thank you very much. But I have to tell you a second experience with vending, and a second time I said no. But years ago, when we just started our fudge company, we hired a brand manager. We didn't even know what that was, but um, she started brainstorming all these different avenues of basically wasting our time and money, uh, like buying completely like vintage looking vending machines and putting our own products in them uh, at airports and stuff. And I thought that sounds pretty cool. But then the machines that she was sending us, they look cool. They were expensive. They were probably off of eBay where you're not going to get financing. And then our products, we would have to put them in much smaller packaging, which would cost us a whole lot more because we didn't even have the packaging for these things. And I thought, what are we paying you for? You have one job. But again, I got soured on vending where I thought, you know what? I'm not thinking about this the right way. We're doing something completely different, and this is we're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Um, but every time I come back to it, it's doing it the right way. It sounds like an excellent way to to define that passive income. Right? It's not totally passive like anything, but it certainly sounds like it cash flows pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so tell me, let's follow. Let's backtrack just a little bit and look at the cost here versus like what's the return, ROI, right? If you're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 per machine, and then what's it cost to fill this machine? How much are uh, you're paying on the loan, the debt, and then on, of course, labor and time. So walk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, so we have machines and micro markets that do anywhere from $1,000 a month to $17,000 plus a month. And so if we just let's go conservative and say we have a machine that's doing 2 grand a month, okay? And so easy kind of math, cost of goods is typically anywhere from 30 to 40%. So let's just say it's 35%. So $2,000 cost of goods is around, let's say, 800 bucks. Okay, so you're looking at 1,200 bucks out of that 2 grand. You might have to pay some fees and some Wi-Fi or data depending on the type of machine. So let's just say all in with your fees is 50%. So right away of that $2,000 a month of that machine, you got $1,000 of profit, and so you can get really aggressive and like us, we'll put extra principal down towards the payment on the machine every month and try to get those machines paid off in the first year. So that's kind of the mindset. Other people might just pocket that $1,000 of profit, or like for me, I'm all about making my vending route passive. So I'll hire an operator at $20 an hour to go stock those machines, and that machine usually takes an hour of week of work. So 1 hour times 4 weeks, we got about $100. Let's say we tip them an extra $25, so we're looking at $125 in labor for that machine. So right there, you got a $2,000 machine minus $1,000 of cost of goods and fees minus $125 in labor, and I'm pocketing $700-800 of that.
That's one machine uh, per month. That's not bad at all. Uh,
No, and you start getting 10 plus locations, and you can start to see where the hockey stick of profitability really kind of.
I'm curious. You said $17,000. What kind of machines bring that in?
Yeah, so we have a micro market in a high end apartment complex that gets a lot of foot traffic. And yeah, with the last 30 days, so we installed it a few months ago. Our first 30 days, it did like 13 grand. And we're like, oh, wow, this is definitely the honeymoon stage. Everyone's like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to try this market out. Um, but actually, the last 30 days, we've done, I think, like $17,025. And our cost of goods, I think, was $6,900.
Wow. And what is that selling?
A little bit of everything. So it's a full on micro market that's got everything from, we sold 435 smart waters to, we got some fresh food items in there. We got your traditional snack shelves. I got chips, candy. But the other interesting thing is we have an entire shelf that's called incidental. So we got toilet paper, we got paper towels, we got laundry pods, we got sticks of deodorant, we got everything you could think of: Tylenol, makeup wipes, condoms, tampons, kind of the whole CVS Walgreens shelf of that micro market.
How much space does this take up?
That's a good question. So this one's actually in an unused yoga room they had. So I think it's about 3 feet deep by about 8 feet uh, long. So it's about a half of like a wall of a 10 by 10 room. But most of the time these are on the hallway wall that as you're walking in or walking out of some type of place. It's usually not a designated room that wasn't being used for something.